But alright, so what happened is this the change in Lenegus's shape has completely wreaked havoc on the buildings here. Let's see, map action. Probably got to heal somebody. Let's go in and see what's happening here. Alright, asking for help. Strawberries up here? Oh, so he's using water arts. That's what he's doing. I thought he was vacuuming for a second.
Oh dear me, what an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dahna.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegus mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Alright, let's go. It's down here. Another level. It's just telling the kid to jump? Alright. That's a safe way to do it. Fancy parfait recipe.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dahna during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dahna during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
I think Renans can see her though. Maybe it's only just on Dahna.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dahna competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
This music is
We've
quite...
canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dahna? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Dahnan. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that two sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dahna, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, I'm actually getting pissed off. Hold on, let me collect my thoughts. Like, this is legitimately pissing me off. Like, 90% of this story is being told through these long, drawn-out skits. Like, didn't these writers learn that showing is better than telling? Just flesh out the story in the gameplay. It's like, the gameplay is like filler gameplay, repetitive gameplay, and then like 45 minutes of talking, narrating, and expositioning the story. And then just filler gameplay, some interesting boss fights, and then rinse and repeat, and some interesting cutscenes. Just flesh out the gameplay. Oh my god, man. It's so much. Anyways. I don't know if I spoke about this some point earlier, I think I did, but I dismissed the idea. I did speculate or hypothesize that Lenegis was in ruins, but I dismissed the idea because Xian and Dualim are from Lenegis, so obviously they would know. But I forgot to consider that maybe Rena is in ruins. And if that's true, then maybe the Sovereign's job is to somehow hold Rena's astral energy balance in order so it doesn't collapse upon itself or something. In which case, it will be somewhat similar to Tales of Symphonia, which is also two worlds that are at odds with each other, with something linking them, and one being in danger or like something like that. I won't spoil it too much if you haven't played it, but it's a lot of parallels there. And it will make sense. And it will also make sense for the music video thing. Anyways, let's watch this stupid skit.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Dahnan city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Oh my god. What is this? Tales of audiobook? Let me go.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
I missed a little bit at the end there because my phone was calling. I'll go rewatch it. But that seemed an interesting. Like, that's a fine skit. It's some side stuff, some character side stuff, some fun between them. It's fine.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do.
Sorry, that's someone I have to call back later. And nobody left to run the show.
I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dahna.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Dahnans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dahna, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
This music is driving me insane. It's on. Oh no. I can't do this. I don't know if I can do this. I'm just looking at the timer. It says 44 minutes, alright? I can't handle like 10 more minutes of just talking. Oh my god. I'm seriously thinking about ending right now, so if I cut this into 2 25-minute episodes, that's 50. I need 5 more minutes of content. 5 more minutes of content, and then I can take a break. Okay, it's only 3. Let's do it. We can make it. We can make it, people. We may have lost some people along the way, but for the rest of us, we can make it. So you want to know which lord is... Okay, at least I get to read this, so I get to not fall asleep. Not that the story is boring, it's just... You know what I mean. I want to know which lord is... want to sport? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency... Huh? Ervilsay Teldelis. You probably know him more as Seth. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. Fair to say that House Teldelis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. Yes! I owe so much to His Excellency, I could never dream of serving any other lord. Alright. Some interesting backstory.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Is that the same lady? Wait, it is. Lord Ohalim, you have returned. Oh, I see you brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes. Not only do I support House Il... They said Karis, I think. Yeah, it sounds probably more like Karas or Karas. Whatever. Il Karis, that's what they said. But more specifically, his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to anyone who listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy, but since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been able to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house Karis, and his name Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love, the scores of boorish, uncouth men of his land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to... I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Huff, huff. Well, what do you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it, only then will my masterpiece be complete. Alright, so we learned nothing.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Well, I never to think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyris.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Ohalim or that dreadful Lord Almadria. Do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I came from a family that has served House of Valkyris for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabeld behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena's interest front and center like no one else. Why? He advocates that rather than staying confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dahna and expand our horizons. That way we'll become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dahna's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabeld also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Dahnans?
They might see it that way. I see it as narcissism and self-centeredism and whatever is the what is it called? Oh damn it! I have it. It's not a syndrome. Well, it's kind of a syndrome. It is. Like a hero complex. It's like a hero complex born from narcissism and self-centeredism and basically nationalism. That's the only thing I heard. They're willing to do anything to further their house, and it just sounds like they want to do it in their own image. That's what I read into that. Maybe blunt, but honestly, I'm so tired. I don't have time to. I don't have energy to like read into their psyches. Anyways, 51 minutes have passed. We are free. I can save and I can end here for today. This was way too much exposition. Way too much. They need to stop this for the rest of the game. They can't do this. They have to let us experience the story and the game. Or else it's gonna be extremely boring to just sit here and watch Tales of Audiobook Zoogles. Tales of a Zoogle audiobook. That's what this game is right now. I hope it changes. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope it wasn't too much. I hope you survived. The 3 of you that survived, I'm glad you did. The rest of you, I'm sorry. May your souls rest in peace wherever you are. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And see you tomorrow.